Good morning, children. After a long time, it's time to start our new academy session. I am Rama Devi. I am your social studies teacher. Today I am going to handling class 7 geography chapter natural vegetation and wildlife. Page number 68. We'll start it today. Today we are going to study about natural vegetation and wildlife, the geography chapter, class 7, in your textbook page number 68. Children, do you know what is meant by natural vegetation? You might have observed that when we go any tour or when we go for any tour, we can see many grasses or many trees around us. These are all called natural vegetation. So how can we define a natural vegetation? We can define the natural vegetation like this. Natural vegetation can be defined as that part of Earth's planet's cover which grows without any human intervention. It's a part of Earth's planet cover and without any human intervention it's growing. That is called a natural vegetation. So different parts of the Earth's surface have different types of natural vegetation. So the distribution of natural vegetation and its type, thickness of the belt, it's depend upon various factors. So what are the factors which affect the distribution and the thickness of natural vegetation? The factors are latitude, altitude, amount of sunlight, temperature, types of soil, terrain, amount of precipitation, or the slope of the land. Now I am going to discuss about different type of factors, how these factors are affecting the natural vegetation. The first one is latitude. Do you know what is meant by latitude? Latitude is an imaginary circular lines drawn parallel to the equator are called latitude. It's an imaginary circular lines drawn parallel to the equator. It is called latitude. There are 181 latitudes. Now how it is affecting the natural vegetation of our different areas? So it can be, the latitudinal areas can be divided into three types: tropical, temperate and the polar. In the tropical areas we can see it's near to the equator, and in this tropical areas we can see tropical type of vegetation, and the temperate area we can see temperate type of vegetation, like it's no need moderate climates needed for this temperate vegetation. These all we'll study in the next chapters. Now you just understand how the latitude is affecting the natural vegetation of a particular area. And the polar areas means the cool areas having different type of vegetations like grasses, mosses, lichens, some shrubs like that. So the latitude is affecting the natural vegetation of a particular area. Next is altitude. How the altitude is affecting the natural vegetation of a particular area. In the high altitudinal areas we can see different type of vegetation like grasses, mosses, lichens, some shrubs. It is different from the lower areas, means it's different from the slope of the land, it's different in the interior part of the land. So in the highly altitudinal area we can see different type of vegetation. Next is amount of sunlight. How the amount of sunlight is affecting the natural vegetation of a particular area. We know that the earth receives the sunlight is in different way. In the equatorial region the sunlight will be vertical, and the polar region the sunlight reaches in a horizontal way. So the vegetation grows in this area is different based on the sunlight. Next factor is temperature. The vegetation of a place is different on the basis of temperature. Some vegetation needed more temperature and some vegetation needed less temperature. So based on that, the vegetation which grow in that area is also different. Next, type of soil. Type of soil is a very important factor which affect the vegetation of a place. Some vegetations needed some alluvial soil, red soil, sandy soil. So in that area we can see different type of vegetation, and when we go to other areas it's red soil, some black soil we can see. So in that area we can see different type of vegetation. So type of soil is also an important factor. Next is terrain. Based on this terrain or based on the features of the land, the vegetation is different. Now, amount of precipitation. Amount of precipitation, vegetation grows well in the regions where there is adequate rainfall. Precipitation means rainfall, so when the vegetation grows well where the place is having adequate rainfall. Slope of the land, as I told you already, in the case of altitude, the slope of the land vegetation will be different from the highly altitude areas vegetation, and we can see some type of grasses and some type of trees in the slope of the land, whereas in the highly altitudinal areas we can see some grasses. Okay, these are the factors which affect the natural vegetation of a particular area or the thickness of a particular area. I hope you all understood. So once again I'll repeat what are the factors which affect the natural vegetation of an area. Latitude, altitude, amount of sunlight, temperature, types of soil, terrain, amount of precipitation and the slope of the land. And wildlife also, on the other hand, refers to all the non-domesticated animals and other organisms found in a place. Wildlife also part of natural vegetation, and what is meant by wildlife? It refers to non-domesticated animals and other organisms found in that particular place. Now the next topic is natural vegetation can be broadly divided into three categories. What are the categories of natural vegetation? The categories of natural vegetation is, first one is forest, second one is grassland, third one is scrublands and the tundra. Now I'll explain about the forest first. What is meant by forest? Land that has cover of trees and shrubs is called a forest. What is meant by forest? Land that has cover of trees and shrubs is called a forest. Forests grow well in regions where there is abundant sunlight, high temperature and adequate rainfall. These three factors is compulsory for to grow the forest: abundant sunlight, high temperature and the adequate rainfall. Next division is grasslands. Grasslands, land where grasses and grass-like plants are the dominant form of plant. Its life called grasslands. The lands which we can see all grasses, all plants, that type of plants are called grasslands. Grasslands grow in regions of moderate rainfall. These grasslands needed only moderate rainfall. Next division is scrublands. Scrublands means thorny shrubs, and the shrubs grow in the dry regions of the world, that is called scrublands. We can see like deserts. In the desert area we can see some thorny shrubs and the shrubs type of vegetation. That's why it's called scrublands. Next division is tundra. Tundra vegetation consists of lichens and mosses. It's especially grow in the cold desert regions like Arctic regions. You might have heard about Arctic and Antarctic regions. So in this Arctic regions, what type of vegetation like lichens, mosses, these type of vegetations are called tundra vegetation. Within these broad categories, there are several regional variations in the natural vegetations. So I hope you all understood what are the major divisions of natural vegetation. The major divisions of natural vegetations are forest, grasslands, scrublands, tundra. These are the major divisions. So I am giving you one activity. The activity is collect the pictures of forest, grasslands and thorny shrubs and paste it in your homework book. And along with this activity, I am giving you one worksheet also. This will be sent through WhatsApp. Thank you children. I hope all you understood the lesson.